Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today is January 15th, 2021, and we are going to plant some Crosne, also known as Chinese artichokes. So these are in the same family as mint. So what that means is they could potentially multiply and grow wild, out of control, just like mint. So if you do decide to grow them, make sure you grow them in an enclosed area so that they don't jump around. So what they do is they produce these tubers, and the tubers could be all over the place, and then if you harvest and you forget to harvest all of them, or you just missed a few, then those tubers will grow to become more plants. So that's really how they multiply. They're also perennial, so what that means is they'll grow back year after year, and or at least in Texas they're perennial. So the top would die off, but the bottom would still be alive, and then they'll just grow back once the weather is warm again. So we just experienced 18 degrees to 20 degrees Fahrenheit for the last week, and everything in the garden is basically all dead except these Chinese artichokes. You see here? So some of the stems are still green. You see here? So they died at the top. You see that? It's all nice and dead. So the leaves are look a little bit like mint as well, and they kind of have like the same growth habit. So that means they spread. Oh, here goes. Here's the leaves right here. So this is the one that is still alive. See that? It's kind of like minty leaf, and yeah, 18 degrees didn't kill them. So today we're going to dig up a few of the tubers, and then we're going to replant them in a different area. This was it was just a temporary home for them. I wanted to grow so that I could collect more tubers so that I can grow it in a different spot. So I'm gonna try to get all of them today. So let me show you what they look like. We'll just dig up a few. They're very interesting tubes. You see? They look like little larvae of some type. And these are very specialized produce, I guess. And they're very hard to find. So if you do find these, usually in restaurants, they do command a hefty price tag. And they're very interesting. You see that? Beautiful. And some of these can grow to like as long as a foot. But usually you would find them around this size here, and it takes around 6 to 7 months for the plant to produce a bunch of these little tubers that you can eat raw. Just clean it up and just eat it. They have a nutty flavor, a little sweet, kind of like artichoke in a way, and very interesting flavor, but very healthy as well. So plant these in an enclosed area. So we're gonna dig more of these, and then we're gonna plant them in my container. So let me get a few more. Okay, so I dug up some of the roots and stuff like that so I can show you exactly how they produce the bulbs. So these are the roots right here, and you see at the end of the root they would grow these little kind of like a extended larger roots, and then the bulbs, you see, these are the bulbs that would develop from that, just like peanuts or ginger, stuff like that. So they, or potato, and so they grow out like that. So that's how small that is once they just start to form. And then after a few months they'll get to this size, and sometimes in favorable conditions this little tuber can grow up to like a foot long. So they can get pretty large, but usually around this size is what you find them as. So these can be planted. You just cut the top off, plant these underground, and they'll come right back once the weather is nice and warm again. Okay, so just to show you again a different one here, you see? So here is the plant, and the root system is there. And then you can see here, you see that? You see how that is attached? So just like a potato, so it's attached like that. And that's the bulb right there. And this is the whole plant right here. So let's take that out. You see the roots can get really long and far, and wherever the roots grow, some of these bulbs may grow at the end of the sections like that, so you can get like a few or like a bunch of them. So they also love soil that can drain really well. Moist soil is great, but because they're tuber, they don't like standing water. So if you have too much water wherever the plant is, they could rot the tubes and the tubers, so it won't be good for it. So you see these, that's the perfect soil condition for it. Nice and moistened soil, and it's loose like that, so water can escape, but it also retains some, and that is the best type of soil for these plants. Okay, here is everything I was able to dig up. I think this is all of them. I may have missed a few, so if I did, they'll just grow, and I'll see them next summer. And so we're gonna take these. I might save a few to eat, and then plant the rest. And then we also have the live plant that we can plant also. I'm gonna divide these out and then plant them in a container. With these plants, you can actually plant them very densely, and it should be fine. So I'm gonna plant all those in a small container, and then let them grow, and then collect more tuber to grow somewhere else soon. But again, make sure you grow them in a place that you can control them. Okay, we're going to plant the tubers and the live plant in this container here. So what I have is leftover soil from last season that I grew radishes in, and they're very nice and loose, so it's perfect for these plants to be planted in. So here is the tray with all the tubers. So we're going to first cut some of these back a little, because the top layer is basically dead already. And you see the bottom is still nice and fresh. And you don't need too much soil. 6 inches of soil is perfect for these plants. Okay, so here are the tubers that I cleaned up. Look how beautiful that is. And this is the reason why they are quite expensive, because look, they're just really unique, tasty, and really hard to find in a way, because not many places grow these. And so when you find them, they're usually in special places, and they do cost quite a bit. Okay, so now we're gonna water the bucket. Okay, and then because this is still winter, we do get really good sun right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a plastic bag right here like this, and put over it as a dome, just clear plastic bag, just like I use here to start seedlings. Now I'm gonna show you. I started Sakurajima radishes, and look at that. You see, we have sprouts already starting, because the dome gives it nice heat and like a greenhouse, and they will sprout. So I'm gonna cover these up so that the plants can live really nice under there. Okay, I have the dome placed on top, and these are just clear plastic bags for you to put recycling stuff in there to for the trash pickup. And so that's exactly what I use. and it worked really well. So in a few months, these plants will grow, and then we'll have a bunch of Crone or Chinese artichokes this summer. Alright guys, after planting all of the bulbs, I did save a few so that I can eat them. And here's a closer look at them. They're very interesting. They look like some kind of shell, or maybe like a pupa, of some sort. Very strange looking tubers. I love the colors. They look delicious and weird at the same time. So let's try these out and see how good they are. Okay, here we are. These are the Chinese artichokes. Doesn't have too much of a smell to them. Let me break it in half and see if there's a smell to it. Has a somewhat of a vegetable smell, I guess, but really not much else to it. So let's give it a try. The inside is very nice and white. Reminds me of the texture of radishes. That's what it looks like. Super crunchy. Has the same texture to me as a jicama. I think the taste is very similar as well, except it's not as sweet as jicama. But very interesting. You can probably easily eat, like a bowl of these because the flavor is very neutral. Wow, very interesting. Slight sweetness, a little bit of a nuttiness, jicama texture, no aftertaste, which is excellent. Wow. Yeah, you can easily eat like a bowl of these. It doesn't have any strong flavor, so even if you don't like vegetable that much, you probably can still eat these. I think raw is the best because you get the full crunchiness, best texture. You can cook it slightly, but I don't think I like cooking these. I just like eating it right off. Pick it and wash it and eat it. Wow. Very good. So I hope that I'll get a bunch more in the coming few months. By spring towards the summer, it takes a few months for them to develop these bulbs. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna grow a bunch of these just because they taste so good and they're very interesting. And I have not seen these sold in stores, so I think they could be very hard to get. But if you have the opportunity to grow these, grow them. I think they're just excellent plants, easy to tend to, and very interesting. I mean, if you show this to people, they're gonna like, what is this thing? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and comment below if you want to follow-up videos on the plants that we planted outside. That way I can do an update and show you what it looks like later on in the season. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.